Hi Virgo. Welcome to your Sagittarius season reading, December 2024 reading. All information to work with me is below. My website, session options, payment options, that's all below. Even contacting me through my email is below. And also the Patreon link where you can get the general, all the free stuff, as well as all the stuff that is a subscription based that will come right to your email. You don't even have to go on YouTube. So it's up to you, but take a look at that. Now let's get into your reading, Virgo. What is being communicated to you at this time? Woo. I flipped it a bunch of times. Okay. You're being given an opportunity to transform your energy, your generosity, whatever you've been, wherever you've been putting your energy, also wherever you've been giving it away. In times when you feel like this is a great time to be charitable. If you have the extra energy, of course, be charitable to others, to yourself, but mostly you need to be generous with the energy that you put into this new idea, to this transformation of abundance, to your worth. Wherever you're going next, that energy needs to go into there. So who do you have to be? You have to put that energy into who you're becoming. You need to be able to be uncomfortable, to be generous with your own value of yourself, with what you would give to others in need. So you might need to say no to certain people. You might need to say no to certain thought processes, whatever. And given this time where you are realizing that your efforts and energy are worth more than maybe you're giving them for as well. Of course, if you're starting something new, they say be generous. Don't doubt that, but just notice, again, the scale, on the other hand, the weight of that. Are you just giving away information because you feel like you need to be charitable to others, even though you can use that energy towards what you're doing? And that's where that gives you value, and maybe there's some codependency there. Or are you able to really put all of that energy and value into yourself and what you can provide for yourself, what you can give to yourself, what your main focus is, and what you've been maybe even slacking on for some of you. This is a time where you get to decide, and that's what that's about, is that wherever you're putting your energy, if it's making you work harder, it's time to move on from that. That you carry all the weight, that you bear the burden. You know, it could have worked for you up until this point, but it may not be working anymore. If you're someone who has your hands in many things, maybe you start to pull back. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Notice as you start pulling back, noticing as you start to say no, what comes up in your head? What comes up in your head first? Oh, maybe I should go back. Maybe I should change my mind. Maybe I should. That's the fish in and out. You need to decide, pull back, and notice what comes up. Is there something that you need to address within yourself that has to do with your inner child, that has to do with your inner expression? Because the Hangman says, I have something to digest. I have something to offer that I need to allow myself to process and then come up with how to move forward with it, with how to express it. Something that's in my mind, but then also expresses through my heart, something I want support for. Something you could possibly teach to others too. This could be a way of you relaying valuable information to others and being given that opportunity to do so. And it may move you out of a period, or finally you get the light shown, or finally inspiration comes, or finally the right connection meets you when you have the ability to observe. course, this month is also about having a little bit of a sense of humor, of course. But for Virgo risings, Leo would be in the 12th house. So Mars is also maybe communicating to you something of extreme value during this time of when it goes into retrograde. That it's probably around the 6th, around that time where you start to shift that energy internal. And it's something that I even told Pisces that I would even tell you, because I'm doing the axes together this month. Just feeling it that way. And it's possible that you also need to reassess that the environments that you're in every time you step into a new environment, even if it's something that you're used to, like your home or your car, right? Or your job, wherever you are, most of the time, whenever you step into that environment, reassess how your body feels. Who's around you, right? Getting very nuanced this month with scanning your body, noticing when you're relaxed, when you're more tense. What are you thinking about when you're tense? What are you feeling when you're more relaxed, and vice versa? Because that's going to give you a lot of information on why you choose to do the things you choose. Are you unwilling to sit with the discomfort of your honest decision? Or are you avoiding doing that change and just are you going with the status quo just because it is easier for everyone else? It's in those moments where you need to decide how that will actually be harder for you in the long term if you don't allow yourself to maybe have help from others or give yourself the authority within. Not from other people, but giving yourself the authority within. That doesn't mean go and be arrogant or condescending. No, it's that voice from within that knows something and has something of value to offer, so you offer it. So you express yourself. So you say what you need to say. Because that's what's going to help anywhere that you've been stuck in your mind, and that's what's changing and transforming you into more of an emotionally intelligent person, because you already are. But now it's about acting that way in times where you don't want to, because it's in that moment that shifts the trajectory and something stupid happens. Or it's about retracting anywhere that you put your value out, and actually going into that quiet space and noticing that no matter where you are, and taking inventory for others of you. Because you're rebuilding how you enjoy yourself, how you play, your foundations, how you want to give your time. And there may be more of a creative or fun. You want to have more fun. You want to have more freedom. You want to have more expression. Well, in order to have more fun, you have to do something that you like and are willing to show up for every day. And maybe that's something you already know, and now you need to be able to express yourself, connect with people, so that when you pull back, you're able to see who you're meant to connect to. Because you're not trying to overproduce, overconnect with other people, because you lack being able to sit with yourself at times. When you're mentally observing something or being analytical, that's great, but it's about observing how you're feeling and the discomfort of the change that you're going through, in order to free yourself from binding yourself to this fate of, I need to be overworked. Whether you're a workaholic or not, you have to give yourself the opportunity. You have to give it to yourself. If you don't, normally the universe takes care of it in a very painful way. And if that has happened this month, you need to give yourself the time to digest. Give yourself the compassion. Give yourself grace. This season can be very magical if you let it. You may want to listen to your urges and your intuition, because the body, tapping into your body and wherever you feel tight, that's where intuition in a way is being held. The fascia is the most intuitive part, which is the connective tissue, in my opinion. But what also, from what I've seen too, from studying it from some time, and also myself, the more that I become relaxed, the more that I release tension, that it shows up in different ways every day, and it has been. If that happens for you, what if you went into that tension and released it? What can you learn from that? What can you learn? What can you collect about how you move forward that day? When you release that tension, maybe you just feel good regardless of what's going on. The tension doesn't get to weigh in on the situation anymore because you've allowed yourself to sit with it, experience it, express itself. What have you been holding in your heart? Right? When you're actually supported and you can let go and say, no, I'm not doing all of this anymore. I need to be supported too, but I also need to speak up for it. What happens? Do you feel a shift in your back? Right? I'm not a doctor or a health practitioner, but these are the metaphysics of the signs that are being called out. And it's sometimes, it is that very simple thing of learning to express yourself for you, Virgo, for you. Not to gain or lose anything, but simply for you. You know, because there are times where you feel really centered, but there is that push and pull in the fire sign seasons and especially now, just because there's a lot changing. You're learning a lot about yourself, so it does need time to integrate. You do need time to talk it through. You need time to curate the extremely creative and productive idea that you have. You need time to be able to speak to people. You need to give your mind a break. And finally, maybe you do. Intuition. Intuition brings you to a different decision, different responsibilities if you choose, a different way of looking at things that allows you to experience your emotions without having, maybe it's meditation too, and not realizing all of the fruits you've been sitting on and unable to act on because you've been tied up with shit you don't even want to do or never even, agreed to, but like defaulted to. There's a real choice that you can make and recreate your future at this time if you wish, Virgo. You can see very clearly the ways in which your intuition has been trying to reach you and through your body. A lot of times when we experience discomfort or pain in the body, it's a message for us. It's a teacher. You know that because when you're teaching, it can be uncomfortable for others. When you relay truths, it can be uncomfortable for others, even though you know and you can feel it. Like even here, I know it's not always easy to hear and connect in these ways, but it's going to help your money, which you love. But being even more intuitively tapped into money, into currency, is one of your superpowers. So strengthening that at a time where so much is possible, if that's the one thing and that's the main thing coming up right now, it's only going to bring you even greater security within yourself, because there is a situation in the future that you're going to have to deal with. And it does have to do about your commitments. It will probably come closer to the full moon, because that has to do with your career. Gemini, for Virgo rising Geminis and your career and your public roles, this is getting you set up and prepared for that moment of deep security where you may have to make a decision. You're not just weighing things out, you're actually needing to make a decision. I think this one came up first, sorry. I always do that. This is a decision no one can make for you. This is a time where you decide where you want to put your energy, and you need to put your weight behind it, which is your energy, your focus, your devotion, your commitment, right? What is it that you really mean? For some of you, you may need to listen to a Leo. They may have a lot to offer you. This could also be Mercury. This also could be the full moon coming up, because we have the High Priestess, which is a Gemini card. You may want to, if you're asking for things, the answers or the conversations you may need to have will happen maybe around the 15th. But practicing this will help you get more in touch with your nervous system. So if anything gets activated or heightened at that time, especially to do with your career, just trust that you know. Trust that you know, because in times like this, it can lead us to be desperate. There can be a desperation with some of this energy, and there's a fine line between being passionate and being desperate, wanting something and not being able to live without it. There is and learning to navigate that energy within yourself and learning to accept it, see it for what it is. Notice where it comes from. Where does it live in your body? Maybe it's your digestion. Are you feeling guilty for how you feel? That's a crazy thing with Virgos, is you can feel good. You can have so many inner critics that you don't even realize, the more that you unravel, that there's no need to feel guilty for your true feelings, for your true answers, for your true expression. Even if in the end you do have to take accountability or apologize for something, there's no need to feel guilty, because you need to express these things in order to get to know yourself. So maybe this is in more of a creative way that you start to use your voice, right? Maybe you're teaching. Maybe you're teaching about intuition. Maybe you're teaching about the body or how that connects. Or maybe you're digesting and accepting and honoring yourself and forgiving yourself for any of the guilt, which is elating and exciting and igniting your inner child to come up and out with this expression that people can't help but hear, that are so magnetized by this light and this information that you offer, the simplicity and the humanness about it, and how in some ways it comes so easy to you and it comes so natural. And then you're like, well, what do I want to be responsible for? And it's not up to you all the time. But what is up to you is a choice you want to make about how you choose to be secure within yourself, within your emotions, how you alchemize what you feel and what you do, how that unlocks even a weight off your chest, even deeper into the lungs. You may even feel like you're breathing differently by the end of the month. All right, Virgo. We'll see you in the next part. All information is below. Hope to talk to you soon. We'll catch you in the next one.